Hey, Keon, welcome to Tallahassee. I know you entered the portal, and I mean, there was a lot of interest. I guess what was it about Florida State that set Florida State apart that made you want to be a part of this?
Well, so first, just the culture that they've been building over the past few years. They kept the recruitment out of high school. They were recruiting me pretty hard, and they have a great quarterback, great receiver room, and most of all, I love the coaching staff. And they got 90% of the team coming back this year, so we have a chance to do something very special. And I just want to be a part of that.
Go up front here to Brendan.
Y'all can hear me straight?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that might come up.
Yeah, it's just for online.
You mentioned the coaching staff playing a role in the previous recruitment as well. I guess can you expound on that a little bit? Like what was your relationship with like Coach Norvell and some of the other assistants back in high school? And I guess was that an easy transition when you start talking to them again once you entered the portal?
Yeah, it really was, because Coach Dukes, Coach Norvell, Coach Ag, like, I love those guys coming out and love what they were trying to do. And, things didn't work out, on the front end, but it happened for a reason this time. So, they made it very smooth, knowing that I had a previous relationship with them, and Coach Jack also. So, yeah.
Go Corey.
So you touched on it, the watching them from afar and seeing how much did that play a role in when they were recruiting you the first time? They hadn't proven to be a top 10 team. We didn't know what Jordan Travis was. Now that he looks like an All-American candidate, and this team is going to be challenging for a championship, how much did that play a role in where you wanted to play this football season?
A lot. I mean, everybody wants to win, and everybody wants to make big plays for those teams that's going to win. And compete for a national championship, that's the ultimate goal. And as a receiver, you catching passes for those, those great quarterbacks. That's a dream come true.
Gonna go to the Zoom, Logan.
Hey Keon, how have workouts been for you, adjusting coming from Michigan State down to Florida State? How's it been down here in the heat and everything? Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, it's been fun for the most part. Getting to go through the grind and the hardship with those guys, my teammates. I think really the biggest adjustment is the heat. So it's not really crazy. It's hot in East Lansing around this time, so it ain't too crazy, but it's been fun for real.
Go over to Jack.
You're coming into a deep wide receiver room as well. I mean, what have your perceptions been so far?
Ask that again?
Yeah, you're coming into a deep wide receiver room early on here. I guess what have your perceptions been so far coming in?
Really just to come in and compete and push the competition in the room, help everybody get better at their individual things, and just grow as overall as a receiver room to be we aspire to be the best in the nation. That's pretty much what we're gonna try to do. So it's just coming in and competing. Another guy that's can do things pretty good, and the better the room, the better each individual is.
Go to Aslan.
Keon, I think when you announced that you're coming to Florida State on social, you said you think you intend to be here for 8 months. So I guess you want to have a really good season here and then chase your dreams of pursuing your career as an NFL player. Jaheim Bell's here, Johnny Wilson's here, Guy Douglas. There's all sorts of talent out there. Do you feel confident that you can get 15,800 again here with everybody that's in the mix?
Yes, sir, I do. And along with that, those guys are great at what they do too. So we help take the pressure off each other. So it's just a push and pull effect. We all gonna work to do the same thing.
Go up here to Kurt.
I guess you haven't seen him with a football yet, unless I don't know if there've been the player run practices or anything. But what are your impressions of Johnny? How well he moves and just all he does at his size?
I mean, for most people, it'll be shocking that he really moves that great at 6'7", 235, however much he weighs right now. But he's a great athlete, and he can do some very good things. And I feel we're gonna coexist right along with each other.
Gonna go up front here to Brendan.
You mentioned it a little bit, Jordan Travis being an important part of this decision for you. I guess what was conversations with him like during the recruiting process, and now how often have you gotten to work with him or talk to him now that you're here on campus?
So really in the recruitment process, there wasn't much to be said. The tape speaks for itself, really. And everybody wants to play with a great quarterback, like I said earlier. And he do some very good things very I would love for him to be throwing me the ball too.
Anything else? We're gonna go over here to Corey.
Looking at your game log, had really big games against Michigan, had good games against Ohio State. Is there something about you against the better teams, the higher caliber teams, you kind of raise your level of play? Is that, and also on the flip side, what do you need to work on? What do you need to get better at this year?
So I'll answer your second question first. Getting better this year, just being more intentional on what you're doing, more focused, always just harping on the details, where to get aligned and, things like that, of that nature. You can always be better at releasing, getting in and out your routes at the top, luring DBs with your eyes, different things like that, reading coverages, and just playing when you're tired, leaning back on your fundamentals when you're tired, and letting your technique take over. So you're not out there falling or whatever the case may be. You're not looking sloppy. You look like a pro in the first quarter as you do in the fourth quarter. And your second question, like they say, big time players make big time plays in big time games. That pretty much sums it up. At the end of the day, the bigger the game, you gotta really step up because your team gonna be looking at their guys to make the plays that they need to make to give us a spark to keep going and win the game.
Back to Aslan.
I guess, will you know the right time is the right time to kind of emerge as a vocal leader? Have you done it already, or will you just kind of let it play itself out?
I mean, I feel like I was just a natural born leader, so that happens as time come about. Once you get a little comfortable with things, you start to speak up more and more. But as of now, it's just more so continuing to fill out my phase of getting to know everybody and knowing everybody's names and things like that of that nature. Just getting accustomed to what the new motto is here and how they do things here.
We go to Brendan.
Any chance that you'd be playing basketball in your year here, or is the focus gonna be solely on football?
Nah, my focus is on football.
Anything else? All right.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Keon.
Keon.
Appreciate it, Keon.
Y'all have a great day.